What is up? It's your boy, Anecdotal, and today is the day that most of you have been waiting for. Today is the day that I swap out the current Orc meta to this Undead team that you see all the top players in your servers are using, or at least as close as possible to it, because I have not 3-starred any of the tablets or their seals, so that is not going to happen. But what you will see right now is me getting rid of these units that we all have known and loved to be the end game, and I'm switching it out and testing for you guys right now live whether the Undead team is actually better than the Orc team, even without switching out particular things, right? Things were a little mixed up there. What I mean by that is, without having particular pets at 5-star or something like that, I just want to see if it will be better. Now, that being said, this does not mean that you can go ahead and switch from having hippogriffs straight over to having this team right here, because at the very least you still need Raven. As long as you have Raven at 5 stars, you can switch. I saw some people saying that all you need is to have Raven at 4-star and you could switch it. I don't really see why that's true, because the effect of having Raven's abilities change at all is when it's at 5-star. So saying that you need a 4-star Raven doesn't really make a lot of sense to me. Now, some people might say, what about the friendliness? You can say the same thing for the Orc friendliness pet, which would be Laylac or something like that. It's Leyyak, Laylac, whatever. The dude in blue. They're all friendliness pets. Just because you have one at 4-star doesn't mean you might not have the other at 4-star. So it makes no sense at all. The friendliness slightly goes up every time you increase the star of that pet, but it does not change the value of that unit yet. Needs to be at 5-star. If you have a 4-star Icy, that 5-star ability does not proc in the time shop, does it? Needs to be at 5-star. So just to get that out the way, that's the way it is. Now I'm making sure that the exact same amount of metals are being put to both of my cores. That way everything is exactly the same when switching it out. Now what we do know is that they have the exact same effect as Wyvern Rider. Wyvern Rider has that effect that once you get its pet Wukong to 5-star, and once you get Seahorse to 5-star for Naga, we know that it has extra bonus type damage to the crystal, which means that even though you have less attack, when you hit that crystal, you're doing more damage. Therefore, you can get onto a further stage and have a higher night level and slowly progress faster than everyone else playing or using a different team setup. So right now I pretty much have the whole Undead team set up good. I still have my 2 fairies because the skipping is important, guys. Say it with me. Skipping is important. You cannot lose that. So as long as that's still implemented into the team, I'm still going to skip right. No matter how great the team is, you still need to have that skip percentage to have consistent skipping. And, you know, well over half of the stages I run, every time I run it, is being skipped thanks to having the Hippong, which is Hippogriff's pet, and Tinky, the fairy pet, and having 2 fairies on my team to up my skipping to, what was it, 95 or 100% skip rate. So that's amazing. Whatever I'm on, plus the Dark Archer skippage that I have, so make sure, guys, nothing has changed farming wise. Early game, mid game, sort of end game, you still need everything. Everything you needed before, you still need. Do not suddenly just switch and start going Undead. What you will notice though, and because this is a previous recording though, is that the Undead team is way faster. But there's a lot of swapping to do. Yeah, I swapped out units, but all of the artifacts that I have are all geared towards orcs, because I've been using an orc team, the whole orc meta thing. And all the seals I was farming up till now have been orc seals. Their friendliness and higher metal buff percentage potential for orcs. So I can't count the amount of medals I have and say, oh, the orc team is better. That's impossible. I have way more friendliness for orcs than I do for undead. So there are two ways to capture whether one team is better than the other. Now I'm going to go ahead and go through like the arduous process of looking back and forth. Hopefully there isn't a UI change, an update changing the user interface, that's what UI is, into sort of maybe cataloging which effect I want. Like I can click on crit damage for orcs, or just crit damage, or I can click on quest gold open or gold quest acquisition, and all my artifacts with gold quest acquisition will pop up, or something like that. Also, on the artifact side, on the upper right, when you click the arrow down and you have the artifact book, why is it still a secret that we cannot see 7-star artifacts and what they do? There's a whole lot of community services out there. People just play the game and have plugged in that information outside. Now, as a game, you don't want your community, the people that play your game, to go somewhere else to find out information that should have been in the game. I don't know why it's a surprise that, oh, look, I just got this 7-star artifact, and oh, wait a minute, it turns out it only helps out humans and gives me quest gold acquisition when I'm doing an undead team, and suddenly I really need to know what 7-star artifact gives me this, right? Because it gives you a breakdown as to what pets you want to farm in the secret shop, and just a whole lot of other things that interact with your gameplay based on your stage running team. So here I was pretty lucky and I got, I think it's Black Tortoise. So that's what the first thing you see there is, with the undead and I believe quest gold acquisition. It's kind of hard to see on my screen right now, but I'm making a whole lot of changes, and even after this I think I ended up increasing my sun ring, which gave me quest gold open and all attack. Now, the attack that you get for singular tribes are always higher than the all attack stats. What I mean by that is when you see an artifact and it says increase all attack power by whatever percentage, whichever one says increase attack power for a human, orc, elf, or undead is higher than the one that increases all. It makes sense, right? Because if you're going to buff everybody, it should be less power than if you're going to buff one specific unit. But when you are playing stage running teams and you are using your 2-core, or even if you're using a 1-core, it should be tribe specific. That way you will get that bonus. The only times not to do that is if you already have something that's upping 1 and you want to double up on quest open, so it's easier to open up your last quest. Now, before I had 2 quest open ones, artifacts for 6-star. For 7-star you need way more. As you can see here, the struggle is real with honor coins. Make sure that you have at least, I'm gonna say 100k. It sounds like a lot, but I think I had 60k extra honor coins left over when I first made my transition between 6-star to 7-star artifacts, and on average it took about 2 6-star maxed out artifacts to max out 1 7-star artifact. Yeah, that's a whole lot of honor coins. For those of you that still haven't just maxed out a regular 6-star artifact, the pain is real. Imagine doing it twice and it only equates to 1 7-star artifact. Now the bonuses are way bigger. Like the only reason I'm able to reach the last quest I have now, which is like the second last quest that you get from the friendliness shop, is because of 7-star artifacts. Hands down, that's why. And also because of the 2 new pets, Odin and Heimdall, that give you +2 on your artifacts, like +2 max levels. So I'm getting an extra 4 levels from there. Me and my alliance, my guild, are crushing Swamp of Death, so that's giving us even more artifact levels. And of course, the big thing that people seem to be forgetting when it comes to seals, you don't only or strictly want to farm whatever meta you're on. So right now, if you're farming only elf seals because you're in the early game or mid game meta, That's not necessarily the best move, because what you want to do is you want to 3-star every single tablet. And this is important. You want to 3-star every single tablet, so that way you unlock more levels on your artifacts. So I think in the very beginning, the highest level for your artifacts for at 6-star, I think might be 70 or 90. I'm not 100% sure what the actual base max is. And then through SOD pets, through the new pets like Odin and Heimdall, and now through seals, through artifact tablets, if you get everything that's there, what you can do is you increase that max. And the higher, like, everything is like huge exponential growth. The level difference between level 99 to 100 is huge, and usually every 2 to 3 levels, like 103 to 106, is an enormous difference. Like, you will see a huge shift in the amount of gold that you get, in the amount of quest open that you receive, in the unit decrease cost. Once you get something leveled up in whatever artifact, in whatever economy it is or attack power that's there, it's gonna be a huge difference. You'll easily go up a few night levels. Easily, if you go up 3 or 4 levels, it's gonna be insane. So that's what's the big deal with airships, and that's what the big deal is with tablets. And if you're wondering what you got to do to farm it, all you really need to do is look for what you're missing, and then you just skip it. Just make sure that you're not at max for your air fuel. So now that I'm running it, maybe you guys can see it as well as I can see it, but the attack range is crazy big. Now, you saw that with the Undead team originally, I wasn't getting any further. Now, that could have been due to me staying on a stage, hoarding gold, and feeding it into my units. So plus or minus like 5 or 6 stages isn't really a big deal for me. But what is a big deal is the attack range. There's an obvious shift, right? An obvious change in attack range for the Undead team. Basically, I hit the crystal from further away every single stage, and that adds up every single stage. So the more stages I go. Now, as I kept on doing this, while I buy a few pets here, what I noticed was that my run was just about 3 minutes faster with the Undead team than it was with the Orc team. So it is official, guys. The Undead meta is real. The reason why it's better is because it has a higher attack range, which equals out to higher spirit rest numbers, which means more medals, faster knightage levels, and of course, they're actually stronger. Now, obviously, when you're playing TOT or Spirit Highlands, you probably have noticed this, but nobody uses Naga as a knockout punch type of unit, and nobody definitely uses Waven Rider as an end-all be-all unit, right? We use things like Blade Master or Frost Demon if you're using orcs. But here, these Crow Knights, they're amazing, and the Anubis Mage is also pretty good of a unit. They're overall just stronger units, and they have a higher attack range when you put them in as also as support units. So definitely go ahead with no fear, switch to the Undead team because you have a higher attack range, and like I said, it will increase the amount of spirit rest you have when you do a spirit run. I know I started playing the game more when I switched to Undead because it shaved off 3 minutes every run when I wasn't trying. And if I was trying, it would usually shave off 4 or 5 minutes because I was paying extra attention to making sure that my units get enough gold and that I was increasing the quest. Like, it was like about 42 minutes or 43 minutes to finish my entire run instead of 46 minutes or 45 minutes, which is crazy. When you look at that in the value of a spirit rest run, the difference is astronomical. Now, it might not seem like a huge difference, but guys, it's huge. I quickly leveled up about 3 or 4 levels when I went ahead and switched to the Undead team with 0 changes. The only thing I have is a 5-star Raven. The pet for Crone Knight is maxed out. That's the only prerequisite, the only requirement for switching to the Undead team is to make sure that they get that power boost for having Raven at 5-star. So I hope that this video showing you guys me actually swapping to the Undead team and why I think it's better and why I have seen visually why it is better has helped you out and answered some of your questions and comments. If you like this video, make sure to like it, share it with your friends, your family, your loved ones, and anyone who plays Endless Frontier. And of course, if you want to see some more Endless Frontier content, make sure to subscribe. I'm your boy Anecdotal, and I will see you on the next one. Peace out.